FMR 101.3.
It's time for Talking Points, and Matthew Wilde, Cape Town Opera's artistic director, was undaunted by the dire situation confronting opera 6 weeks ago when COVID-19 led to the closure of every venue hosting the performing arts. Without minimising the gravity of this event, which he describes as striking at the very core of our existence, Matthew has applied his natural dynamism to promoting the continuance of operatic performance both locally and abroad, with some extremely interesting things you've come up with. Matthew, welcome.
Hi, Rodney, and hello to your listeners.
I mean, such a lot is going on. I was surprised when I read this press release, and for example, a trio of filmed projects. What is that all about?
That's very much where our focus is at the moment, is doing some opera on film projects. As many of your listeners will know, when we moved to level 4, the regulations allowed that theatre companies could start to work on projects for streaming or for local broadcast. So over the last weeks, we've really put our thinking caps on about what we can do for video and what we can do as online content. And we're in the middle at the moment of rolling out a series of those projects.
And give me an example, Matthew, of what these projects consist of. For example, what's the first one going to be?
Well, the first one is already live. It's called Behind Doors. And we did this for a partner of ours, Phoenix Central Park, through one of our funders, Judith Nielsen, who's an Australian. They've been running a series called Behind Doors, which is very intimate chamber performances, and they asked us if we'd like to do something for that. So at the very beginning of level 3, we invited Jeremy Silver on the piano, soprano Brittany Smith, and the violinist Profilwe Oliphant. None of them had made music with anybody else during levels 5 and 4, and we brought them together for one afternoon to have a very quick rehearsal. And then we filmed a small recital with the three of them at the very beautiful Casa Labia in Newsenburg. So that video was already released last week. You can find it on the Cape Town Opera Facebook page, and it'll be doing the rounds a lot more this week. The three of them chose 3 very beautiful and haunting songs, some Schubert, some Richard Strauss, which really focus on, in a way, looking to the past, but then hoping for a more beautiful tomorrow. And I must say that the first day that I walked into the rehearsal with the 3 of them and actually heard live music making for the first time in, I think it was 68 days, I mean, I burst into tears immediately after all these weeks of listening to headphones. It was quite a thing to hear 3 people actually making music live again.
And the 3 of them must loved it as well, loved working together and making live music.
Absolutely. I mean, they were all so moved and so emotional and excited to actually be playing with colleagues again, even though it's in a small group. So I think the video really captures that, and we're sharing as much of that through this beautifully filmed video as we can, until such time as some live audience members can start to attend our performances again.
And Matthew, the other thing that I found quite interesting is the e-learning Sing Like a Pro project, which is apparently attached to all this, one of your ideas. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Yeah, this is one we're very, very excited about. This is run by our Youth Development and Education Department, who every year do a lot of work for the South African Schools Choral Eisteddfod competition. And for your listeners who don't know about this, this is the most spectacular national competition which has learners learning classical music, some African classical music, lots of operatic repertoire, and then competing nationally. There are thousands and thousands of learners who participate in this every year. So every year we travel around the country and we do face-to-face education with the learners, especially for the operatic repertoire. We did a good deal of that this year, but the tour was a little bit cut short by the lockdown, and we really wanted to get that learning to a much greater number. So our YDE department have come up with this brilliant e-learning campaign, which they've called Sing Like a Pro. It's going to be quite extensive. It's going to be 13 modules of e-learning, which will be released weekly from the beginning of July. Really fast-paced, entertaining, brilliant education for teenage learners who are interested in singing operatic and classical repertoire. Yeah, we're excited that this one is going to get to a much larger group of learners in the flesh tours, can possibly do.
Matthew, this is all very good news because it just shows how much you people are doing, and congratulations to you for thinking out the box, as I say. But just remind, to see the films, you go to the website, the CTPO website, do you?
Yes, I would start at the Cape Town Opera Facebook page is going to be the easiest place to catch the behind doors, and also to catch Sing Like a Pro, but that's still a couple of weeks away.
All right.
That's going to launch in early July. And then the most ambitious of our film projects, we are in final rehearsals for now, and we're going to film next week. That is destined for the CakeNet show Overture in September. And this is going to be an all-new staged version of Pagalesi's very beautiful Stabat Mater. It's going to be a danced production, which is choreographed by Trudgeon November. The incredible innovation here is that he has choreographed the whole thing from his home in London via Zoom, and he's never going to be in the same room as the 6 dancers. And this is a collaboration with Cape Town City Ballet. So it's dancers from Cape Town City Ballet who've been working with them remotely for the whole process. Camerata Tinta Barocca are going to be the orchestra for that. And the whole idea about it is that it's sort of experimentally, physically distanced performance, which is created especially for film.
Gosh, that sounds absolutely fascinating. That's something I certainly can't wait to see. Matthew, all strength to your arm. Congratulations. I was talking to Matthew Wild, Cape Town Opera's artistic director. Thanks, Matthew.
Thanks so much, Rodney.
FMR.